from the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland for the 2018 Herndon Monument Climb. I think the picture kind of speaks for itself. Obviously what we have here is a 21-foot obelisk of the Herndon Monument. It has been covered with 50 pounds of a butter-lard mix. And the Naval Academy plebes, these are the first-year students, are attempting to climb to the top of the obelisk so that they can remove the little sailors that are at the top and replace it with a midshipman's cover. This is the shirtless obelisk climb. It's been called the greatest spectator sport in America. I think I called it that. What you see happening right here is that the plebes have made their initial run at the monument. They gotta try to get off as much of the butter lard mix as possible. As you can see, the upperclassmen have really slathered this obelisk with lard. They want to try to scrape off as much as possible so that they can attempt to get some kind of traction on this thing. This is an interesting strategy. They're actually trying to make kind of a rope with their wet t-shirts to allow them to have some more purchase on the obelisk. And listen, I know you're thinking they've made some pretty good progress here in the first couple of minutes. Believe me, we could be in for a long wait. Last year it took about an hour and a half. Last year it took 2.5 hours. The basic strategy that you'll see is that some of the bigger guys try to form a base around the bottom of the obelisk. They're standing, you can't quite see it, but there is a low ridge around the obelisk that they can stand on. They've got their classmates who are helping hold them up there. That's the first layer of guys you see. They're going to hold on their shoulders some of their lighter weight colleagues, who are then going to try to establish some kind of platform to get to the top. Meanwhile, you have the upperclassmen watering them down for reasons that have to do with, I guess, cooling them off in this 80-degree heat, and also making it more slippery. I know it looks chaotic, but there's actually strategy going on here. But right now, in these initial moments, the strategy is really about getting the lard off this thing. The lard certainly is picturesque. It adds to the challenge, though. It's not glamorous, but getting the lard off is a big part of their job here in the first few minutes. The Naval Academy, obviously, majority male, but you do have many female midshipmen. It's always very inspiring to see the young women who get into the act here. As you can see, there's one woman who is, she's currently on the second layer of bodies, but she's attempting, I think, to get hoisted onto the shoulders of the guy who's on the second layer. I'll be honest though, if you make it high up at this early on, you're not going to stay up there very long. Some of them, as you can see, are actually throwing shoes, t-shirts, other things to try to knock some of the lard off. Her hands are covered in lard, though. I mean, she's making a really good effort, though. I don't think she's got the wingspan, but look, she's within inches of the top. But that sailor's cap up there, it is taped down. This is noble work she's doing. She's actually attempting to use the midshipman's cap. It's an interesting strategy. She's attempting to use the midshipman's hat to knock the sailor's cap off. I don't think that counts though. Even if she manages to balance that on top, I think the rules are that you still have to get the sailor's hat off first, and that thing is taped down. And there she goes. They're also trying to knock the hat off the top. I don't think that works either. Listen, the upperclassmen who prepared the monument with lard this day, they know what they're doing. They themselves were plebes. They know that you've got to tape that thing down. Bit of history here. This is a tradition of unknown origins. Kind of started back in the olden days. This was kind of like the Lover's Lane area for midshipmen. It was off limits to plebes until they got to the end of the year. They've made it the end of this grueling boot camp-like year, and so they used to celebrate by roaming through this area and kind of doing an assault on the various monuments and landmarks. At some point that evolved to attempting to climb the Herndon Monument, just 21-foot tall granite monument. At some point, they say in the 50s or 60s, it turned into a thing where upperclassmen would cover it with lard to make their quest to the top even harder. We actually have records going back to about 1950, when it only used to take about 12 minutes to get to the top. I think the lard tradition began in the 60s. That's when you started to see it take them about an hour and a half to get to the top. They've made some pretty good progress here on the lower extremes of the obelisk. It's pretty well cleaned, and that's going to help them over the coming hour, 2 hours, whatever this might take here. You're going to have some guys who pretty much stay on that bottom layer for the entire time. You know, it's not glamorous work, but they are providing the platform that will help one of their classmates get to the very top. You're probably wondering now if this is dangerous. It looks dangerous, certainly. It is dangerous. I remember one year seeing a midshipman carried off in a backboard. I think he recovered fine. There's never been any serious injuries. In 2008, though, there were enough injuries, including people falling from great heights, that there were 4 midshipmen taken to the hospital. There was a big debate about safety after that. In 2010, the administration actually moved to do the Herndon climb without lard. Definitely changed the tradition. It was all said and done in about, 2 minutes. It's a lot easier to form a human pyramid, really, if you're young, physically agile, and don't have lard to contend with. So they made it to the top very easily that year. Lard is back in vogue, though. As I may have mentioned earlier, this year, you can tell by the sort of yellowish color, it is a lard and butter mix. Just before the ceremony got underway, some of the upperclassmen came out and splashed vegetable oil on the monument. I don't know if there's any particular reason here, but it's experimenting in how to make it more greasy. Again, it looks very chaotic what they're doing here now, but there's more strategy than you realize. They've been talking about this for weeks, how to do it. They may even have seen last year's Washington Post webcast, which I hope could have given them some pointers. Okay, and we see our first back tattoo of the day. Again, you have what looks like a mob of guys just standing around doing nothing. Two things here. One, you got to pace yourself. You can't have everyone on the monument at the same time. You have people who are now on the fringe who will eventually make it in there to relieve the guys who had been on the front lines. Also, though, you have a lot of what's going on is people who are standing near the base pushing inward so that those guys who are forming the main ring around the bottom, they have some support as people start to climb on their shoulders and on the shoulders on top of those guys. There's a lot more going on inside this ring of bodies than you realize. When they throw the water bottles, that could actually hurt somebody. And it's not very effective, really. I think a t-shirt's going to do more when it comes to getting grease off an obelisk. But he got back up there. Of course, a young woman got knocked down when he fell. I hope she's doing okay. But again, you got a bit of you got a bit of a mosh pit principle of physics going on here. The bodies are so tightly packed below that if you fall, you're going to fall into somebody's waiting hands. At least that's the theory. Yeah, just don't do the water bottles. I mean, I guess there are worse ways to get hurt here. Again, I see a number of young women who are scrambling right to the top here. What you see a lot of are plebes who are getting a foothold on a classmate's shoulders and then that classmate pushing them up. And now as you see here, now that we've got a solid second layer, they link arms around the monument. That's really the only way you're going to be able to deal with a slippery sheer face like this. It's teamwork. Ooh, and there she goes. are getting a warning not to step on the hose, because the hose is there to cool these guys off. Okay, so it's there to cool them off, not to make it harder for them. Now, I really admire the young women who are getting into the mix here, and they end up being an integral part of this event. You really end up having to deal with some physical constraints here. By that I mean you have a 21-foot obelisk. You got to do the math of how many bodies that's going to take to get you to the top. Typically the strategy is you've got some really big guys who are forming the ring around the base. You then have a second layer that's standing on their shoulders. Best case scenario, typically, is that you have one or two guys who scrambles to the top of that second layer and can stay up there just long enough and have just long enough of a wingspan that they can get that cup off with the flick of a wrist. I mean, that's basically what the math supports in terms of what the human body involves. You know, you have a couple layers of people who are 6 feet or above. You can make it to the top then with just a third layer. I spoke this morning, though, with Jim Galladay, Naval Academy class of 1995, and he was legendary as the plebe who made it to the top in 1992. He actually climbed to the very top and sat on the very top of the monument. He had to do this because the upperclassmen had really taped this thing down so hard there was going to be no knocking it off. He had to manage to climb to the top, sit up there, which could not have been safe, could not have been comfortable either, can I add, and really work at unpeeling the tape. He said he did that because a classmate of his literally pushed him up there, got him on his shoulders and gave him the push so that he was able to pull himself up there. I have not seen that maneuver before. That's really something to see. Every year I've been here, it's typically been somebody who looks like a basketball player, a water polo player, who gets on top of the shoulders of somebody who's on the second layer, and from there reaches up to get the cap off. But you never know. Obviously, there's more than one strategy. There are more than one ways to climb a greased obelisk. I think you're going to see a lot of different strategies at play here today. This is part of the process here. You may be wondering why they're shirtless. I think history has demonstrated that a shirt doesn't really help here too much. In many cases, those on the front lines are literally using their shirts to get the lard off so that they can make the climb easier. So it gets hot, it gets wet. You get to a certain point and it's very hard to count how many layers there actually are here. I mean, right now I guess you have somewhere between 1.5 and 2 layers. That first layer, of course they look like they're a second layer, but that's because they're standing on a ledge. They're being pushed up by people who are standing on the ground. I don't know, maybe this counts as 3 layers of bodies. You may wonder why the fellow on the right is climbing up with a midshipman's cap on his head. It's not just for swag. Oh, ouch. It's not just for swagger. He's hoping to get up there and put that cap on the top of the obelisk to replace the sailor's hat. It's about the only useful way to transport that hat in this moment. Oh God, the facial expressions. Ooh, ooh. Ouch. Okay, this is going to be hard. As you see, he's the only one on that second layer right now. He doesn't have anyone to hold hands with, link arms with. Once they get someone else up, they can get someone around to the other side, make it a little bit easier for him to cling to this thing. The officials of the climb here have just put out the warning to the plebes. It doesn't matter if you get the officer's cap up there, midshipman cap up there, you got to get the Dixie cup, as they call it. You got to get the Dixie cup off first. Okay, nice try with the frisbee there. I respect that they think that they can, ooh, nice try. I mean, good aim. As you can see though, that Dixie cup is not budging. You can throw as many frisbees, water balls as you want. You're just not going to knock it off. Someone is going to have to get up and physically remove that. Oh, you know, it's like one link in the chain goes, and okay, they're doing a pretty good job of hanging in there, but you got to get somebody back up there soon, because that's a big gap right now they have. They've got a gap in their first and second rows. That's not going to be sustainable. Can anyone make out that tattoo? This looks like, I don't know, cupping marks or something. Okay, they're rebuilding very well. Look how thick that layer is that they've got right there. You can't quite tell what's happening here, but you've got an inner ring of big guys who have a very tenuous foothold on the ledge of the monument. Other guys who are literally being held up by the crowd to push in on them to help create a base for the next layer of bodies. But But I mean, you look at that second layer where you have basically looks like you got maybe about 4 people up there, including young women. You need to have that base pretty well secured and stable before someone attempts to climb on top of their shoulders and somehow reach the top. Linking arms, though, that's the way to do it. Of course, this has been controversial over the years. Some people have suggested that they should get rid of this tradition, that it's not safe, that it's absurd. I talked to Jim Galladay this morning, class of 1995, who, when he was a plebe, was the guy who made it to the top. He said it would really be a shame if they got rid of this. It's a bonding thing, it's a great tradition, and on top of that, oh no. Oh, look, listen, I know it seems like they just had a big loss there. They're going to rebuild. They will rebuild. You still have a pretty good base, and learn from their mistakes now. You think they're back to square one, but they're not. Look at all the lard they've gotten rid of. That obelisk is practically naked now. But as I was saying earlier, Jim Galladay, class of 1995, said it's a great tradition, it's bonding, it shows off all the hard work, the physical abilities these plebes had. Also, though, he said, it's a little bit strange. It is a tradition that seriously has a lot of character. It's not something that, some director of student affairs could have dreamt up. It happened organically over the years. No other school does anything like this. It's definitely one of the traditions that makes this academy unique. It is 1:59. We're coming up pretty quickly on the half-hour mark, I imagine. When they hit the half-hour mark, we'll hear a boom from the cannons to indicate that, well, they've been doing this for 30 minutes. And they seem to have realized that bottom layer needs to be a couple bodies thick. You need to have a number of people not just pushing up, but pushing inward in order to give the bottom layer the strength of the second layer. For those who are just tuning in now, this is the 2018 Herndon climb at the U.S. Naval Academy. These are plebes, that is to say, freshmen, first-year students, coming to the end of a very grueling year. This is the ceremony when they officially become full-fledged midshipmen, who will one day be commissioned as officers in the Navy or Marines, perhaps, and serve our country. Most of them are about 18 years old, like most college freshmen. Some of them are older, having done a couple of extra years of prep school to make it into very rigorous. And there you hear the cannon marking the 30-minute mark. wearing a t-shirt does not help get the lard off, does not help get the Brixie cup off. Might give them something more to grab onto if you come at it from the opposite angle. But, as you can see, they are still a ways from doing that. Still, though, the amazing thing about this particular event is that it's not exactly linear. You can't predict whether it's going to be 4 hours or 30 minutes. It'll look like they've made no progress and suddenly someone will scamper to the top. Oh, and there's, anyway, another fall. There will be a lot more of those. Did not look like a bad one. At this point, 30 minutes in, they seem to have mastered the art of the slow, sliding, graceful, greasy fall. But as I was saying, sometimes you'll think that they're within seconds of getting it and it all falls apart. Sometimes you will think that they are nowhere near to the top and someone will just scramble up there and get it done. Fall there. I mean, no one got hurt, but they did lose some of their building blocks there. I find it very admirable how someone falls down and still goes back up there. At least I think that's what's happening. It could be that they're getting replaced by someone who looks exactly like them. It's sometimes hard to tell in this crowd. There should be more back tattoos so that we can tell them apart. Okay, that's good. They're linking arms, or at least grabbing wrists. If you get a couple more people up there on the shoulders of the base layer, then they can actually have good elbow linkages, and that's much stronger. There we go, there we go. That's what we need. At this point, you have to remember, it's not just the obelisk that is slippery, it's the flesh that is slippery. They're not just trying to hold on to the obelisk, they're trying to hold on to each other. But that 50 pounds of butter lard mix went somewhere, and it's on them. Oh. There's not a lot of traction. You know, you see feet slipping off their shoulders and arms slipping out of hands. Okay, they just got a warning about not throwing water bottles. It's about time. Okay, this is the highest we've seen anyone get over here on the left. But as you can see, it's like a big challenge. You see, that's a waste of time. You should have used that hat to scrape some of the lard off. The problem with getting up to this higher level, yeah, you've made progress, but you've just gotten to a lardier spot now. Just listen, you can throw it all you want, but yeah, that doesn't count. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Listen, plebes, I've been to a lot of these. You haven't done it yet. You haven't done it. It's not over. Oh, good Lord. The announcer is shouting at them, it's not over, it's not over. They don't hear him. They think it's over. They don't know. Okay, so he got the hat to the top, but he did, oh, this is a chaos, this is a bad situation. They're cheering, they can't even hear. the officials yelling at them that they have not yet won, that does not count. They still need to get the Dixie Cup off the top of the obelisk. They threw the midshipman's cap up there, but it doesn't do any good. It's just on top of the Dixie Cup. Somehow someone has got to get the message through to them that their day has only just begun here. Okay, I think I've gotten the message. This is obviously not something they're doing for their health. They are forming the pyramid base here again, and they're going at it. But I think they've just made it a little harder for themselves now, because now someone's going to have to get that midshipman's cap off the top of the point before they can get the Dixie Cup off. And as I said before, the Dixie Cup is covered in layers of tape. God bless. There's the kid who threw the cap on top. He's trying again. He's got to redeem himself here after all. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Okay, now we are throwing socks. That's really classy, kids. Listen, I'm sure many of you are sending in your commentary, Twitter and through the comments threads about strategy here. I wish I could get my advice to them, because personally I would be telling them to use these midshipmen's caps to scrape some of the lard off. They still have a long road. And they're still throwing water bottles in violation of the rules here. Compared to previous years, everyone's doing a pretty good job of keeping their shorts on, because A, they're slippery, B, they're wet, C, they have people pulling and pushing and tugging to try to either get to the top of this human pyramid or to try to reinforce the bottom of the human pyramid. You end up seeing a lot of low riding. The waistbands seem to be holding though this year. Okay, they're back in a good position now, or at least starting to be. Well, okay, listen. Okay, this guy's ambitious here. You know, the legend is that the plebe who makes it to the top will be the first in his class to make admiral. That's never actually happened. But this guy, I don't know. It's pretty ambitious. The fellow with the wrap around his head. If I'm correct, he's the same one who tossed the midshipman's cap up into the top, leading to the false impression that they had already won the day. But as I said, it could be, you know, a different guy who looks like him. You know, I would tell them to slow down and focus a little bit. You see a lot of people who are like trying to make it to the third level when they don't have really a very solid first level at this moment. But, you know, I've never climbed a 21-foot tall larded obelisk. I could probably learn a lot from these kids. Oh, did they do it? You know, I didn't even see how that happened, but they seem to have removed the Dixie Cup. that's the thing about this thing. You cannot take your eyes away for 1 second. There's so much going on, and it's completely nonlinear. Just when you think they're getting nowhere, they make some incredible progress. This guy on the left, watch him. He's gonna try this again. I mean, good luck. So they're getting orders now that they have to place it up there. They cannot throw it. They're also getting told to stop throwing the socks. Now, I think that's, in theory, it seems like those should be the rules, that you have to place it up there, not cross it up there. In the years I've watched this, it often ends up being sort of a combination, but they are generally much closer to the top when they kind of loft it up there. Okay, there you go. This plebe on the left, he's given up his efforts to throw it up there, and he's now showing some real teamwork there, establishing a second level. Very good. They don't have enough arms to reach the full circumference of this thing, so they're using a t-shirt to help form it. I mean, that's teamwork there. There's not a lot of glory in being the guy on the second layer who's going to end up being a stepping stone for someone else, but that's how you get this thing done. They might be close here. I think they're figuring things out. For those of you watching live, I can't give you any advice about a bathroom break or anything like that. This could go on for another 2 hours. It could be over in another 5. And you don't want to miss that when it happens. Oh, okay. That's a minor fall. As you can see, they fall, but they don't fall far. It's a really densely packed crowd underneath, boosting them up mosh pit style. Oh, I just saw a young man holding his wrist as he walks away. That doesn't look good. Yikes. Okay, that might be our first injury of the day. It's being escorted from the perimeter. He might have broken something. It didn't look good. Oh, okay. There's a young woman who's literally, her back is on someone else's shoulder, and the whole group goes down. You know, that's how it goes. I don't know if you can hear that, but they just got the message from the officials. Class of 2021, keep rubbing off that lard. You're not even close. Okay, they're using the trick of using a t-shirt to help reinforce the second layer as they try to get purchase. They don't yet have the wingspan to cover the circumference. ultimately they're going to need to get some arms up there to do it, and there they have it. I think they've got a perfect link now, making a ring around the obelisk at the second layer of bodies. I don't know if you can see here, but the strategy for those guys on the first layer, they are standing on a very narrow ledge. Their backs are to the monument, and their arms are linked. Really, it's a kind of it's just body tension that is keeping them forming a base there. I think they're kind of making some progress here. You have something like a double layer now around the second ring. You've got sort of a kind of a 2.5 layer. Okay. Oh. See, they're trying to boost up that guy on the first layer in order to get the young woman on his shoulders higher up. Backfired. Okay, their waistbands are weakening. Once again, this is the Herndon Monument. It was erected at the Naval Academy grounds in 1860 to honor Commander William Lewis Herndon, who went down with the ship, the SS Central America, in 1857. I wonder if his descendants are aware of this grand tradition that has gotten started in his name. Listen, I don't want to sound too optimistic here, but it sounds like they have actually made some progress. What you see here is a very strong first layer. It's about 2 bodies thick. Okay, watch this, watch this. Is he within reach? Oh. He's trying, but I'm worried that that second layer is not strong enough. And they might not be tall enough to support him either. Again, it's unfair, but you tend to see people make it to the top who are very tall, very long arms. It's the advantage you need. Otherwise, you'd need to have literally 4 layers of bodies here, and that doesn't really seem sustainable. You got to say, there'd be an opportunity right now if you're on the first layer to cycle out, let someone else take your place, but by and large, they stay in there. These are really the unsung heroes of the Herndon climb. I mean, they don't make it to the top. You don't even necessarily get a good photo of them because if things are working well, there's a second ring of people who are blocking our view. Of course, you can see some of them now, and they don't look comfortable, but they're sticking with it. Okay, you have a couple of women climbing up with long chains of rags. Actually, they probably started the day as white t-shirts and are now just brown muddy strips. Headed up there to try to scrub some more. Okay. Again, he should use his time up there. He should use his time to, with that hat to scrape some lard off. Whatever. Again, they can't resist. Probably from where they're standing, the top looks really close. From where we're standing, I can tell you it's not that close. They have a ways to go. You're just not going to be able to reach the top if you yourself are just on the second layer. You need to be on the shoulders of the second layer. And they've been warned, you can't simply throw it up there, you have to place it up there. Again, though, it looks fruitless here for those who are just tuning in. They are actually, I guess, halfway there. The day started with a little old-fashioned sailor's cap, a Dixie cup as they like to call it, on the top of the monument. The goal is to get that out first, and it is taped down pretty securely. You have to get that down first before you can replace it with the officer-style midshipman's cap. Now again, this does not look like the most secure second layer here, but all it takes is a second or two. You have someone who's limber enough, tall enough. Someone could theoretically sprint to the top of those bodies and get this done in a second, and someone is trying that now. From this side, we can just see the arms. They're doing it, making some real progress. Is that a woman? Can't tell. Yes, it is. And she's reaching out her hand. She wants someone to hand her a hat. It looks like she has a hat in her hand. I don't know if you can tell from this angle. She's trying, oh, she made it very close. Very close. She's what they need to do is boost up the guy whose shoulder she is standing on. No, it's not going to happen. That was a really valiant effort. That young woman got closer than anyone else we've seen today. Okay, now you see they are rebuilding that crucial second layer. It's such a tenuous thing. That second layer is formed by people who are standing on the shoulders of people who barely have a foothold themselves. The only reason they have a foothold is a very narrow ledge around the base of this monument, plus all their classmates who are pushing in to keep them steady. I will say this, I feel like the class of 2021 has basically figured this out. It's a learning process for every class who goes through this. It's an incredible athletic event that you'll only do once in your life if you are lucky enough to be a plebe at the U.S. Naval Academy. You don't have anyone in this group who's done this before. None of them will ever do it again. They really just have these couple of hours to figure it out. And then they're competing against history. But they've figured it out. You need to have the guys on the base, arms linked, who then provide the platform on their shoulders. Oh Lord, and sometimes literally people are standing on their heads. It's not pretty. And then you need to have some Spider-Man type plebe climb over all these bodies and somehow reach the top. It could happen within seconds, or it could take another 3 hours. Be prepared. It's 2:29. We are coming up very fast on the 1 hour mark. Very soon we'll be hearing the boom of a cannon indicating that it is another 30 minutes have ticked by. Yeah, it looks like they're not making much progress at this moment, but I don't know, maybe they're not making much progress at this moment. On the bright side, I've only seen one injury, and again, that young man was walking away from the scene. It's like some kind of wrist or hand injury. Why don't more people get hurt? Again, I think this is where the teamwork comes in. They are all committed to this. The people who are really up there in the fray, they are there to catch their classmates when they fall. Okay, now we see. Maybe this is a strategy all along. We saw some of our shorter midshipmen forming the second layer before. There's the cannon that marks another 30 minutes. So it's an hour now that they've been there. I'm Amy Argentine over the Washington Post. Did I see you right there on the first layer for a while?
You did, for a while. Yes, ma'am.
How long were you in there? Like an hour?
I don't know, ma'am. It was a long time.
How do you feel now?
I'm pretty beat, pretty tired.
Oh, will you go back in?
We'll see. Hopefully they can get to the top before I get a chance.
Do you feel like you learned much, like how to get this done from your time in there?
I have no idea, ma'am.
Well, thank you for talking with me. Good luck in there.
Thank you, ma'am.
That was one midshipman who really did a lot of time there on the first layer. taking a little break. I was glad to see that, yes, some of those guys on the first layer do take a break. Yeah, I think what we see is a lot of reinforcements coming in here. It was an hour. No one needs to be forming that base for an hour. You could have a risk of heat stroke with that density of flesh. Honestly, though, the temperatures are lovely. We have a nice breeze here. There's been a lot of rain in this area, but honestly, that doesn't make much difference. Be muddy either way, just with all the hosing down they do here. Anyways, I started to say earlier, they seem to have figured out the strategy. We previously had a lot of shorter people going up that second level, and they did what they needed to do. They ended up stripping a lot of lard from the monument. Ultimately, though, you're going to need some tall people and some tall people on top of them. What you do see here is an interesting effect, kind of a half-tiered effect. There is, of course, the guys standing on the ledge forming the base, but there are people who are outside of them, who are standing on the shoulders of people who are standing on the grassy ground, helping to push in, keep the first layer secure, push up the second layer. I mean, literally pushing them up. Grabbing whatever they can to push them up there. No, I mean, just on this side, we can see 4 guys. That must mean there must be at least 5 others on the other side, on that second layer, holding it together. It is technically possible at this point for someone at the right height and to climb up there, and you can see that now, right here in front of us, right here. He's trying, it's like climbing, stepping on a thigh, stepping on a shoulder. He's gonna step, he just needs to grab a hat and kind of tilt it up there. Is he gonna do it? Oh, he's close enough to do it though, but, God, that was close. Take care of your friends below. Put water in their mouths. They've clearly figured this out, though. Okay, this guy's trying. guy's trying to climb to the top. And listen, I'll just warn you, we all have good advice, we all have good strategy advice. It's so much easier from this perspective. Honestly, I think that second layer should be more secure before this guy tries to get to the top. He can't see, but you know what? He might be able to do it anyway. Here he goes. When you're in the thick of it, you can't really see what's going on all around. I wish they had more bodies on that second layer. I'm worried that it's just too tenuous and that he's not going to be able to get the height he needs. I'm worried that the guy who's pushing him up by the foot doesn't have enough purpose himself. But let's see, here we go, here we go, here we go. He's going to stand on he's standing on his classmate's head. He is standing on his head. He is scaling it. He's almost got it. Oh, this is agonizing. And here they go. But they're cheering. Do they think they have it? It was so close, but they do not have it. Oh. And there you see, we've even lost a lot of our base layer. But, you know, they know what they're doing now. They're going to be able to rebuild in no time. Look, like I said, don't have it all. Here's our friend with the interesting back tattoo. Do you think that's a tattoo, or is it more like a henna type effect? And, all right, yeah, we have a young woman who's going to climb on his shoulders if she can. Here she's trying to climb on, take her next step on linked forearms, kneeling on triceps. I mean, I tell you, you should not wake up this morning thinking this is my strategy. You figure it out when you're in the thick of it, and you just do what you can. Oh my Lord, if she does this, a woman who's never made it to the top first, this would be history making. I'm concerned she doesn't have the height. From her perspective, it looks close. It's not that close. But maybe there it goes. It's just, she's gonna stand on a head. Oh, there she, oh! That was a fall. I'd like to see her wave, let us know that she's okay. I think she's okay though. I mean, I saw the hands rise up to meet her. But that was a fall. Wow. another young woman making a rush to the top. And like our friend Mackenzie told us, being lightweight helps. This woman looks like she's also fairly short. I think, oh yeah. I mean, even if she stands on somebody's head, but you know, she could help support a third layer. If you're just tuning in now, I told this, oh, she just fell. If you're just tuning in now, as I explained earlier, typically you have two solid layers of bodies that become like a scaffolding, a human scaffolding for a midshipman to climb to the top and get a hat up there. However, as I told earlier in this broadcast, Jim Galladay from the class of 1995, he actually got boosted all the way to the top of the obelisk and sat on the top of the obelisk in order to untape the Dixie Cup hat that they had put up there. So there's always a chance that we could see some kind of activity like that this year. You know, the potential for injury is not just the people who fall, it's the people who get fallen on. Making slow, steady progress here. We've got some views here of the lower layers, lower levels of guys. That is some incredible fitness we're seeing right here. To be able to keep the body tension, to keep a ring going, and simultaneously hold your classmates on your shoulders. A writer for the Washington Post, I believe it was Dan Zach, once said that this event is like Stations of the Cross meets American Gladiator. You see a lot of stressed out faces, especially when someone is standing on someone's head. Okay, we're in a good position. We have a strong second layer here. We've got two guys trying to make it to the top and sliding down at the same time. Again, I hate to be armchair quarterbacking these guys, but I think they could be making better use of their time up there by scraping off some more of the lard. I know you feel like when you get up to, well, as this one's about to do, the third layer, you want to just go for it. But, okay. I'm worried she's not tall enough, but oh! Well, ouch. Ouch. I think she hit her face on the obelisk there. Which, I mean, that's one of the things that can happen here. It's not pleasant. But, you know what she's not doing? She's not taking a break. She's not going back down. She's hanging on to the second layer there and making herself useful. Or maybe she's trying to make another run at the top. I mean, listen, this could be the year that a woman makes it to the top. Legend has it that the plebe who makes it to the top will be the first in the class to make it to Admiral. That's never happened. But, you know, it's pretty to think so. The one who makes it to Admiral first is probably someone standing on the outer perimeter doing risk management analysis or something. As it should be. We are at the 2018 Herndon Monument Climb at the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. It's a ceremony that marks the end of the very rigorous and challenging plebe year. For those of you who are just joining us, I don't know where the heck you've been. It's the greatest spectator sport in America. I don't know if you can hear them, but one of them is giving the order to push in, push in. It's not just about getting the height to the top, it's also about forming a really strong, dense, thick core, which is just going to collapse there. Oh, see this guy here on the left. We've seen this before. He thinks that because they're like three strong guys, he can climb, that this is a good idea. He doesn't realize there's nothing supporting him. You have to consider the perspective. When you're that close to the monument, you can't see what's on the other side. You can't see if there's someone supporting the rest of the layer. You can't see if there's someone else who's about to beat you to the top, except maybe you can see a pair of hands, as we can see now. And a young man, again, I don't think he's close enough, but you know, power to you. Yeah. Again, he's at the point where he's tossing the hat. If you could toss it from there, I don't know if it would count. The rules are that you've got to place it up there. It's not exactly a platform that is easy to hook something on top of. Oh. To think about the vigilance you need to have if you are in that outer ring who's standing right there on the ground just below the obelisk, you need to be really vigilant because you don't know when there's a body about to land on your head. Okay, this guy's trying it again. He's standing on someone's shoulders. Might be better if he was staying on a head. Someone in his perspective, again, I think the top looks closer to him than it actually is. But, okay, now he's just gotten a couple of extra inches. Okay, this guy, not super tall. Lightweight, though, seems to know what he's doing. They just need to get a hat into his hands. I think he's close enough. We hear the official saying, just push him up there. Sounds like if you could toss it from here, that would be allowed. Oh, that was so close. Oh, he's just a little too much in the wrist there. Hard to calibrate. Let's see, can he do it? Can he do it? Oh. It's hard to get the right angle. He might be able to do it. I'm not optimistic. I think it's just too much of a throw at this point. He's going to try. God bless him. I mean, look, he's I don't know if you can see the guy who is supporting him. He's got a wrap around his head. He looks a little relieved that everyone fell, honestly. You can only take so much of that. I mean, think about it. If you're one of the guys at the base holding everyone up, you don't even know what's going on 2 layers up. You just have to be patient and have faith that they know what they're doing up above you. Kate Bennett of CNN has written to us on Twitter, and she wants to know, what's the average time for achieving pinnacle? Are we on target this year, or are we behind? It's about normal. We're at the hour and a half mark, almost at the hour and a half mark. 2 years ago, they did it in about an hour and 20 minutes. Last year it took 2:20. In my mind, it's always 4 hours, because when I saw it for the first time back in 1995, it took 4 hours. Okay, here we go. Here we go. We've got 2 people making a charge for the top here. This might actually help if you have 2 people on a 3rd layer. These guys might have the wingspan to do this. It's still a distance, but I think the problem is that, they're losing their 2nd layer. These guys might be, if they're just standing a little closer, I'd feel better about their chances, but it's still a greasy way to go. Come on, let's do this. Oh. Yeah, I mean, at this point they're getting desperate. I can't blame them. I mean, it's not easy keeping your grip up there. Those guys on the 2nd layer are probably grateful he fell. But, they're going to do this again. Thanks for everyone who's weighed in on Twitter with their thoughts about that one young man's back tattoo. The consensus seems to be that it's cupping marks. Okay. For those who are watching, I'm wondering, of course, there are a number of young women at the Naval Academy. They're in the minority. In every year that I've watched this, they have been very enthusiastic participants in the climb. A woman has never made it to the top. This could be the first year. Most of the ones I've witnessed, most of the events I've witnessed, it has been a very tall, lanky guy who's made it to the top. As you can tell in that final stretch there, you need someone with a long stretch. But in 1992, Jim Galladay literally climbed to the top and sat up there. There's also a benefit to being fairly lightweight, getting up there. The trick, though, is just having long enough wingspan to reach a cap up there. You've seen a lot of people trying to toss it up there, and it's not an easy toss. There's not a lot, it's not a very pointed spot up there for it to hook onto. You need to be able to almost place it up there. It's 2:59. They'll be coming up soon on the hour and a half mark. They set off a cannon every 30 minutes. You'll be hearing that soon.
You need 2 plebes to interview?
Sure. Were you in there?
Huh? Yeah, I was on the base level. It was terrible.
You were on the base level? Tell me.
Look at this scratch right here. I had 4 people standing on me.
Let me get your name.
I'm Robert Pekarik of 18th Company.
Where are you from?
I'm from Forest Hill, Maryland, so I'm pretty local.
Good.
I'm Nathan Dietrich. I'm from 29th Company. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
What was your strategy going into this today?
Okay, so our strategy, originally we had a strategy where 4 of the plebes would make a rope and they'd climb on top of each other. And we were doing that at the beginning. It was working really well. And then it fell down and now everybody's basically just trying to link arms to the base and then other people climb on. The problem is too many people are climbing on at once.
Yeah. We had that thing going on at the beginning. We're so close. Like literally, it was,
Well, I feel like you guys are learning by doing.
Yes.
Do you feel like everyone has improved their technique?
I think so. We're getting closer and closer.
Yeah,
and this is the first leadership experience of plebe year where there's nobody telling you what to do. This is our first time. There's nobody telling us what to do. We got to figure it out for ourselves.
Are those fingernail scratches on your torso?
I think they might be. I had like 5 people in front of me pushing me against the monument. That I was linking arms with people on either side, and then I had like 2 people trying to step up on this shoulder, 2 people on this shoulder, and then I don't know what this is from. I have no idea.
Are you going back in there or are you done for the day?
I'm going to try to get back in there.
might as well go in again, yeah.
I hope I don't have to go back in there because I'm going to go back in about 10 minutes, but I hope we have it done in about 10 minutes.
What's the mood down there? Are people getting frustrated? Or are they
No,
still
I don't
going?
think so. No, everybody's still going because we're cycling new people in. So everybody, like, they get in there, it's their first try, and they're like, we can do this.
Everyone's very determined, that's for sure.
Yeah. And we're just happy. We're just happy to, well, not yet, but soon we'll be able to say
Hopefully.
plebes no more. Soon.
Congratulations. Thanks so much for talking with us.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, so I'm Robert McCarran, 18.
And there you heard it from a couple of our plebes who are right there on the base layer, covered in grass, covered in mud, covered in scratches, and seem pretty happy about it.
Feels so good. This, when we get the cover on there, will be the best day of my life.
Yeah, it's just like, you don't really realize just how like...
This is really impressive here. We have, from my vantage, we have 3 women on the second layer. There we go. It's hour and a half now. We have another young woman who is making a run for it. It's hard though because she's trying to stand on another young woman who I don't think is tall enough to help her bridge the gap she needs to bridge. I'm amazed though. We have, right now I see about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I see about 8 women who are on the top levels here. There could be more on the other side of the monument. Once again, making slow, steady progress here. So there on I guess that would be the eastern exposure of the monument. They've stripped a lot of the lard off all the way to the top. The one that's facing us, a little messier still. Here we go. Here we go. They're literally trying to push this guy up, and I can see why. It's like he's tall, lanky. He's sort of the build that you need to get in the final drive to the top. But it's just a matter of finding a place for him to stand. Meanwhile, there's a woman who's up there. Oh. There are questions about who's spraying the water here. You see a lot of hose action, a pretty steady mist. These are some of the upperclassmen who are, I don't think it's to make it more slippery. I think it really is just to cool people off. I mean, you've got a mob here. It's not so, you can't quite tell from the upper levels of the obelisk, but around the base, people are just pressed up against each other, and of course it's 80 degrees or something. The water's really just to keep everyone cool. Granted, it's got to make things a little bit harder. It's a very muddy surface down here. It's going to be hard to keep a foothold if you are around the base trying to push up, keep everyone up there. I think it does have the effect of getting some of the lard off, though, eventually. It's probably kind of even in terms of benefit and drawback of this water. On top of everything else, incredible fitness, strength, agility, it must require incredible balance to be able to stand on someone's shoulders and that person isn't exactly in the steadiest position themselves, constantly recalibrating your own balance. Okay, here we've got two guys on different sides of the monument. Okay, good luck, you can do this. I think he's still too low, but big tumble there. But you put yourself in their position. You're standing there, you're looking up, you're craning your neck, trying to see the top. You've got sun in your eyes. The top probably looks closer than it is. It's all foreshortened though from where you're standing. And that's why so many of them are taking these tosses that to us look like Hail Mary passes. So we're just past the hour-and-a-half mark. Let's look at some of the recent years. Last year they did it in 2 hours, 21 minutes. In 2016 they did it in 1 hour and 12. In 2015, 1 hour 38. Which just shows the show. I mean, it could be any minute now. 2014 it was 2 hours 19. 2013, 1 hour 32. Average really has been between 1 hour and a half, 2.5 hours. You really have to go back to the 90s to really find those rough years. 1997, it was just under 3 hours. 1995, my first year out here, it was 4 hours. Again, I can't advise you on when to take a bathroom break. Hopefully, you're watching on your phone. You can just take your phone with you. You don't have to miss a minute of this action. Okay, we got a woman who's trying to scramble up there, but there's just not enough bodies for her to stand on. Hopefully she's going to have an easy slide down. I mean, personally, I just put another 2 hours on the parking meter. You got to be prepared. If we went another 2 hours, it would not even be the record. Having said that, we could wrap this up in 5 minutes. I'd be a lot more optimistic if they had gotten rid of some of this lard. Again, I keep saying lard. This year it is a butter-lard mixture. And if you got here early enough before the plebes hit the monument, you could see the upperclassmen basting the entire thing with vegetable oil. At this point, you also have a mix, I would have to imagine, of sweat and sunscreen. Getting a new delivery of water to drink. But the surface here is really muddy. Okay, I don't know if you can see over here on the left, but we've got a tall guy, tall drink of water. I don't know if he's just there to reinforce the second layer, or if he's going to try to climb on top of someone's shoulders to make it to the top. Honestly, I think he could do a whole lot of good just staying there where he is and letting someone climb on top of him. But I get it, you know, you're so close. You just want to be the guy. I mean, either way, it would be hard enough just for him to get a foothold here. What you have here, too, is people who are, like, propping up other people and standing on the shoulders of people who aren't even touching the monument to do so. It's an incredibly complicated system here. Again, here and right in front of us, we have another guy who's trying to climb on top of. It's just not a good plan. The second layer was not secure enough for him to be trying that. Yeah, like I said, these guys, these really lanky guys, they're the ones who want to go to the top, but they also do a lot of good on the second layer. I mean, this is exactly the build that you see on so many. This is the build you see on so many guys who make it to the top of this granite obelisk. I don't know, though. I wonder if there might be a better strategy. I'm impressed by the young women who scrambled to the top. What I'd like to see is, I don't know. Listen, it's very easy for me to stand here and say what they should do. It's very easy for any of you watching at home. Until you've been right against a sweaty, lardy obelisk, you don't really know what you're doing. You don't really know what it's all about. The plebes we talked to earlier today, they are more knowledgeable now about how to do this than they were an hour and a half ago. Again, though, it's amazing we haven't seen very many injuries. You always expect to see more injuries than you actually do. And of course, you know, we're all having fun here watching this. It's an incredible spectator sport. You can't help but worry that one day there will be a serious injury, and well, it would just be a shame. So I think you have to have a lot of respect for the caution that so many of them are exerting here, even if it looks completely chaotic. They are taking turns. They are swapping out from this outer ring. And when someone falls, their classmates catch them. Earlier we talked to Mackenzie Hurt, the young woman who almost made it to the top here. She had quite a fall. She fell right on her back, but she didn't fall all the way to the ground because her classmates were there to catch her. Looks like they are back to using the strategy with the knotted t-shirts as ropes. Oh, this could be something. This could help. It's allowing them to, it's creating some of the tension they need. And honestly, it's probably ears that are holding onto an arm. It's less slippery. Pretty good traction. I listen. I mean, good luck. I just don't think he can get it. I just don't think he's high enough. Maybe if he can get on this guy's shoulders. We got two guys trying. Here he goes. I don't know why we don't have more people getting hurt. Okay, look, this guy's in position. He might actually do it. Do not look away from your screen right now. This could happen. Slow it down, pace yourself. Go slow, go slow. And now this guy who he's standing on could just stand up a little straighter. It's not that he's got bad posture, it's that he's got somebody standing on. Okay, all right, he's gonna do this. Okay, they need to push him up. He's not gonna get it if he throws it, he needs to get pushed up, I think. Oh! That was probably the closest we've seen, but you know, you get the slippery backside of the hat, top side of the hat. Oh, no. This might be the guy to do it. He just needs to get up higher. I wonder if he could, but there's just not enough of a layer for him to stand on. I think he's going down pretty soon. Oh. I mean, they need to rebuild their second layer here. So what you have is you have guys standing on this ledge around the bottom. Most of them have their backs to the obelisk. They've got linked arms. It's a pretty tight arrangement. You've got guys standing on the grass around them. And on their shoulders and backs, they're supporting the people who are pushing in, who are supporting that first layer, and who are pushing up the second layer. The trick then is, how much reinforcement do you need of that second layer? Is that second layer, can you do that with just one guy thick, or do you need another layer to help them? I want to thank everyone who's been weighing in on Twitter. You guys get it. You totally get it. mean, here's the thing. I've spent years telling people about this event. I've tried to write stories about it. It's hard to capture in words. I've taken photos. We've done photo stories about it. The photos are pretty amazing, but you just have to see this thing. You have to see it in action. Everyone makes their jokes about the greased pole, about their shirtlessness. And there's some pretty good jokes to be made. But then you come out here and you see it, and it is the best spectator sport you can imagine. There is nothing like it in America. Okay, this is good. This is good. This guy's in a really good position now. He just has to be able to reach up and get the cap. Okay, he doesn't realize there's a cap over to his left, but of course he's holding on with his left. Oh, they need some discipline. Can he do it? Can he do it? Let's see. I think he might be able to do this. Oh, that was so close, it just bounced off. But he's got a really good foothold. These guys know what they're doing right now. The second layer is the strongest we've seen. I wish he were a little bit taller. Oh my God, the t-shirts are sticking to the lard. Oh, and the second layer is breaking and he's going down. You know that, like, once you're that far up there, you're not really ready to go, are you? Like, he should just fall backwards, but he doesn't want to. He's got a vision. He's studied his own mistakes. He thinks he's got a way up there again. I mean, granted, there's nobody to stand on right now, but I would love to see somebody sitting up there. I mean, you don't need that anymore. They've got the Dixie Cup down. For those of you who are just tuning in, it started off with one of those old-timey sailor caps that they wear during their plebe summer. They had that literally taped to the top of the obelisk by the upperclassmen. They had to remove that before they put the midshipman's cap on top. So yeah, you have had some years where you've literally had to get someone to sit up on top of the obelisk and remove all the tape. They don't need somebody to sit at the top anymore now that they've been able to remove the cap. They just need someone to be able to get within, you know, a wrist tip of leveraging a cap onto the top. The proportions of this obelisk, though, are kind of perfect for the challenge, and you have to assume that's why this tradition has been built around this particular structure. The Herndon Monument was erected in 1860 in honor of, oh, I don't have my notes, Captain Herndon, who went down with the ship in 1857. It's 21 foot tall, though. So you do the math, you can see exactly how many bodies you need to get up to the top. This is why we see people standing not just on shoulders but on heads, because you need that extra couple of inches to get up there. Okay, this is good. This guy clearly has the wingspan to do the job here. It's just a matter of whether there are enough guys for him to stand on top of. I hate to see him standing just on one guy. I would rather see him distribute his weight on two. But look at this, look at that. It's just not, that second layer is just not strong enough. There's so much going on here. You're climbing to the top, you're reaching to the top, but you're also trying to keep a foothold. You don't have perfect awareness of what's going on all sides of the monument. You may think that the perimeter is stronger than it is. I think it's one of the guys who came and talked to us. I think he's back in the fray there. Good for him. Okay, we're not going to show this to you right now, but we do have a young woman who is getting some medical assistance over here. They're putting a neck brace on her. She's standing up. Getting a lot of assistance here. She's standing on her own. A lot of people helping getting a neck brace on her. I have to think this is probably just an excess of caution. They're getting a backboard for her. You do see this. This is part of this tradition. I've seen this before. Again, she's standing up. She's obviously was able to walk out of the crowd on her own. It's a reminder that this is a really crazy tradition. There have never been any serious injuries. Well, life-threatening, I mean. In 2008, though, there were 4 midshipmen who were injured seriously enough to go to the hospital. That really put the fear of God in the administration. The superintendent at the time decided to alter the tradition, and in 2010 they had the Herndon climb without any lard on the monument. Of course, that was the year that they made it to the top in 2 minutes. It just goes to show how big a factor the grease is here. These are young, fit people who know about teamwork and about strategy. If it weren't for the lard, they'd be able to form a human scaffolding, if you will, and get to the top very quickly. But instead of 2 minutes, we are now coming up on the 2-hour mark. We'll be hearing the boom of a cannon soon, which will mean that another 30 minutes has gone by. Yeah, this is one of the points where it looks like they are back to square one. They're not. They're just getting some reinforcements. No one can stand up on that second layer very long. Same as with the bottom layer. We have a former midshipman asking if I did the commentary when they climbed Herndon Monument in 1998. We weren't doing web video then. I was just probably doing my own commentary to whatever friends I had dragged to watch this. Oh, but I did write a story about it that year. That was a good one, 1998. I also have on Twitter, someone reminded me that these hats are officially called a cover. Yeah. But normal people don't know that. Forgive me if I'm not using all the appropriate jargon, but we've got a big audience here. Okay, this looks good. That first layer is about 2.5 bodies thick. They've got a really good base right now. And we've got, okay, I see what he's doing here. We've got a guy with a perfect physique for this job who wants to climb that second layer of bodies. And God bless him, he's taking some lard off on his way up. Okay, good. Okay, I thought he was just going to make a sprint for the top. They really need some more people in that second layer for him to stand on. But okay, you know what? He might be able to do this. Oh, on the other side, you got it? Got it? We got something really close on the other side. On the other side, are they about to get it up there? Ooh, I don't think it's quite close enough. Oh, a lucky toss could do it though. Oh, you see, let this guy who's on our side, let him do this because there's nobody to stand on. Okay, that's 2 hours now. Oh, so close. I don't think. Selfless guy here, super tall, but he's using his wingspan to scrub some lard off the granite. We can't get a direct look at this guy. He's on the far side of the obelisk from us. He's very close though. They seem to be chanting shirt on top. I don't know if that's somebody's name or if that's a strategy. I mean, there's something to be said for getting another wet t-shirt. I mean, literally just the cloth up on top of the obelisk. It might give a bit more traction for a hat. Okay, the young woman who they are taking away in a backboard just got a nice polite round of applause from the bystanders. So she's okay. I'm sure she is. Like I said, she was on her feet before they put a neck brace on her. I think that backboard's just a measure of extra caution. And listen, if you've been watching, you can see there's any number of ways you could end up with an injury like that, either from falling or being fallen on or stepped on. Yeah, I admire this guy's spirit. He's taken the leadership. He knew that what was needed here was some more lard scrubbing. The surface is looking a lot more approachable. Right. Yeah, there does seem to be some strategy afoot here of getting some more shirt on top. Because you have that extra layer of fabric, it would be less slippery if you manage to get a hat up there. One of our fans watching online said this on Twitter: the way I feel about the Herndon climb is how I think normal people feel about organized sports. I hear you, Elizabeth. Couldn't agree more. Okay. Listen, they seem to be in a good position here. They're showing more patience. No one's trying to scramble to the top. These guys can be patient, staying where they are. Basically 2.5 layers up. Yeah, you have to be really comfortable with your body and with other people's bodies. There's a lot of pushing. Okay, there's the whole knee on the shoulder maneuver. Doesn't look comfortable for anyone involved, but you got to do it. Okay, there. Ugh, the facial expressions. Okay, I wish he would put his foot on the other guy. Look at that. It's like he's just standing solidly. Okay, that's good. Distributing the weight. Don't put all the weight on one day. Okay. But look, they have such a good circumference right now that they didn't all collapse when one guy went down. Okay, here we have another young woman making a charge for the top. I think that's what she's doing. Okay, I think she's, well, it's like a taller guy who's going to try to race her up there. It'd be great to have a microphone right in the center of this just to see how much strategy talk there is. Do you ask permission, hey, can I climb on top of your shoulders? Or do you just do it? Is it understood that if you're there, that your shoulders are free to climb on? Bad fall. But again, a slow motion fall, caught by his classmates. But oh yeah, it's all falling apart now. Oh. Okay, I want to be the grown-up in the room and say, let's give these guys a break. Let's cycle these guys out, get some new guys. Yeah, that's what they're doing. Okay, they're going back to their rope strategy. Just really muddy t-shirts is what they are. Okay. He doesn't look close enough to me, but, Oh, that was closer than I thought. Oh, okay. Shirt strategy. If you can get a shirt up there, maybe you can get a hat. Okay, they did it. What's the time on our clock there? 2 hours, 10 minutes, thereabouts. God bless America. God bless the Naval Academy. That was an excellent show. Are they going to chant USA? Plebes no more. That's a chant. Plebes no more. Plebes no more. That marks the end of their plebe year. Well, we're going to try to get a hold of the plebe who made it to the top. And is anyone else getting a little choked up? Hey, how do you feel about that?
Oh, it's a great, exciting evolution to do with the whole plebe class to end the year. I'm really excited not to be plebes anymore. It's a great opportunity.
now that it's all over, you can just see what this event did to some bodies here. They are all scratched up. They're sunburned, grass stained. Were you in the midst of it? Yeah, how was it?
It was pretty rough, but it was a good time the whole time. We were just cheering each other on, so it was a really good time. Thank you.
There you can get a clearer look at what that obelisk actually looks like. You can see how narrow that base is that the first layer was standing on. And you can see all the t-shirts. We are still trying to figure out who made it to the top. Okay, that interview may have to wait for another time. Kind of got lost in the chaos here. Anyway, this has been Amy Argetsinger, John Gerber, The Washington Post, the 2018 U.S. Naval Academy Herndon Climb, the plebes who are now midshipmen ending up their brutal first year. Thank you so much for watching. This is fun.
Two and two to Jeff Houston. Orioles 4, Angels 2, bottom of the 8th. There's Raffy, who's had a terrific